Part 2 The Betrayal Blueprint. Chapter 9 Aaron, the Collision. The hospital contract bidding war is today. 5 major security firms competing for a $50 million contract to overhaul Chicago Memorial Hospital's entire surveillance and security infrastructure. It's the kind of contract that defines quarters, that makes or breaks projections, that separates the major players from the pretenders. I should be focused on the presentation, on the pitch my team has been perfecting for 3 months, on winning. Instead, I'm thinking about the fact that Sentinel Security, Damon Jackson's old company, is one of the competitors. Except it's not Sentinel anymore. The company went bankrupt, remember? Dissolved amid scandal and fraud allegations. But the CEO, Damon Jackson, he's listed as a consultant for the new entity, Phoenix Security Solutions. Of course it's called Phoenix. Of course it rose from Sentinel's ashes. Men like Damon Jackson don't stay down. They rebrand, repackage, return. You ready for this? Marcus Chun, my VP of Operations, asks as we ride the elevator to the hospital's administrative floor. Always ready, I reply. But I'm not thinking about cameras and sensors and access protocols. I'm thinking about the fact that in approximately 20 minutes, I'm going to be in the same room as the man who's fucking my wife. The man who's planning to steal my company. The man who might be planning to kill me. And he has no idea I know. The conference room is exactly what you'd expect. Long table, uncomfortable chairs, bad coffee, fluorescent lighting that makes everyone look vaguely ill. For other firms are already here when we arrive. I recognize most of them, competitors I've gone up against dozens of times. Professional rivals, sure, but nothing personal. Then Damon Jackson walks in. He's even more impressive in person than on surveillance footage. Tall, maybe 6'2". Built like someone who actually uses his gym membership. Expensive suit that probably cost what most people make in a month. And that smile, confident to the point of arrogance. He's handsome, I realize with a sickening jolt. Objectively, undeniably handsome. Is that what Sharon wants? Someone who looks like a movie star instead of someone who looks like me? Aaron Brown, Damon says, extending his hand as he approaches. His smile doesn't waver. His eyes don't betray even a flicker of guilt. I've heard a lot about you. Brown Security Solutions, impressive operation you've built. I shake his hand. His grip is firm, aggressive, the handshake of a man trying to prove something. Damon Jackson, I reply evenly. Phoenix Security. Risen from the ashes of Sentinel, I hear. Something flashes in his eyes. Annoyance? Respect for the jab. But his smile holds. Everyone deserves a second chance. Don't you think? Depends on what they did the first time. Fair enough. He releases my hand, but doesn't step back. Stays in my personal space, dominating it. I'm looking forward to a good, clean competition today. May the best man win. Oh, I intend to, I say. There's a moment, just a fraction of a second, where we stare at each other. 2 predators sizing each other up. 2 men who both know there's more at stake here than a hospital contract. Then the hospital administrators enter, and we all take our seats. The first 3 presentations are competent but unremarkable. Standard proposals with standard solutions. Phoenix Security goes forth. Damon stands at the head of the table like he owns it, clicking through slides with practiced ease. Security isn't just about cameras and locks, he begins. It's about anticipation, about understanding human behavior, about knowing what threats look like before they materialize. He's good. I hate that he's good. His proposal is innovative, integrated AI threat detection, facial recognition protocols, predictive analytics that identify security risks before they become incidents. It's also eerily similar to a proposal Brown Security Solutions developed 6 months ago. A proposal I shared with Sharon when she asked about my latest projects. A proposal that was never made public. Our system, Damon continues, utilizes proprietary algorithms that can identify suspicious behavior patterns with 98% accuracy. It doesn't just record threats, it predicts them. My jaw clenches. Those are my algorithms. My team's work. Technology we spent 2 years developing. How the fuck did he get access to it? Sharon. It had to be Sharon. She's had unrestricted access to my work for years. I never thought to lock her out, never thought to protect my own company secrets from my own wife. Another way I was blind. Phoenix Security finishes their presentation to polite applause. Damon returns to his seat, catching my eye as he sits. He knows. He knows that I know he stole my work. And he doesn't care. Brown Security Solutions presents last. My team executes flawlessly, every slide perfect, every answer to the administrator's questions precise and confident. We're proposing a comprehensive system that integrates with their existing infrastructure while providing cutting-edge threat detection and response capabilities. We're proposing the real version of what Phoenix Security just plagiarized. When we finish, the head administrator, Dr. Patricia Williams, nods approvingly. Excellent presentations, everyone. We'll review the proposals and have a decision within 2 weeks. Actually, Damon interjects, standing smoothly. If I could add one more thing. Dr. Williams looks surprised but gestures for him to continue. I appreciate Mr. Brown's presentation, Damon says, his voice friendly, casual. Brown Security Solutions has an excellent reputation. But reputation isn't everything. What matters is results. And sometimes, the companies that have been successful for too long. He pauses, smile widening. Well, they get comfortable, complacent. They stop innovating and start coasting on past achievements. The room goes very quiet. Are you suggesting, Dr. Williams asks carefully, that Brown Security Solutions is complacent? I'm suggesting, Damon replies, that new blood brings new ideas, that companies that have weathered storms, like Phoenix Security rising from Sentinel's challenges, understand resilience in ways that companies that have only known success cannot. He's good, really good, turning his company's scandal-plagued history into a strength, positioning my success as a weakness. And I'm suggesting, Damon continues, looking directly at me now, that sometimes the most dangerous threats come from the places we least expect, from the people we trust most, from the weaknesses in our own foundations. The words land like physical blows. He's not talking about hospital security anymore. He's talking about Sharon, about how she's the weakness in my foundation, about how I never saw the threat coming because I trusted her completely. He's taunting me, right here in front of a room full of witnesses, in a way that only I can understand. Fascinating perspective, I hear myself say, standing to face him across the table. But I'd argue that companies built on solid foundations, on trust, on integrity, on honest work, are far stronger than companies that constantly have to rebrand and rename themselves to escape their past. Damon's smile tightens. Trust is overrated, Mr. Brown. In my experience, the most successful people are those who verify everything, who don't take anyone at face value, who understand that everyone has an angle. That sounds like a lonely way to live. That sounds like survival. We're not talking about security systems anymore. Everyone in the room can feel it, the tension crackling between us like static electricity before a storm. Gentlemen, Dr. Williams interrupts firmly. I think we've heard enough. Thank you all for your proposals. We'll be in touch. It's a dismissal. We gather our materials, shake hands with the administrators, file out of the conference room like professionals. But in the hallway, Damon catches my arm. Walk with me, he says quietly. I should refuse, should get as far away from this man as possible. Instead, I follow him to a quiet corner near the hospital's main entrance. I want you to know, Damon says, his voice low enough that only I can hear, that I respect you, what you've built, how you've built it. You're a good man, Aaron Brown, an honorable man. But, I prompt because there's always a but. But good men finish last. Honorable men get eaten alive. And the world doesn't reward nobility. It rewards ruthlessness. He steps closer. You have something I want, something I'm going to take. And when I do, I want you to remember this conversation. Remember that I gave you a chance to see it coming. My fists clench. If you think I'm just going to hand over, I don't think you're going to hand over anything, Damon interrupts. I think you're going to fight. Fight hard. Use every resource at your disposal. And I think, his smile turns almost sad. I think you're still going to lose, because the person closest to you, the person you trust most in the world, is already on my side. Sharon. He's talking about Sharon. You don't know what you're talking about, I say, but the words sound hollow even to my own ears. Don't I? Damon tilts his head, studying me. Tell me, Aaron, when's the last time your wife looked at you the way she used to? When's the last time she seemed really present? Really there when you're together? When's the last time you felt like you truly knew her? Every word is a knife between my ribs. Because he's right. I haven't known Sharon, really known her, in years. We've been performing our marriage, going through the motions, playing roles we've long since outgrown. Here's what's going to happen. Damon continues conversationally, like he's discussing the weather. You're going to go home tonight, kiss your beautiful wife, pretend everything's fine, and you're going to wonder if I'm bluffing, if maybe this is all some kind of mind game. And, I manage through clenched teeth. And by the time you figure out I'm not bluffing, it'll be too late. He checks his watch, something expensive and Swiss. Anyway, good luck with the hospital contract. May the best man win. He walks away, leaving me standing in the hospital corridor, my heart hammering against my ribs. The person closest to you is already on my side. The worst part? I can't even pretend I don't know what he means, because Sharon sent me that text. Sharon is meeting with lawyers to discuss transfer protocols. Sharon is the one plotting with Damon to steal my company. But hearing him say it out loud, hearing him acknowledge it with such casual confidence, that's different. That makes it real in a way it hasn't been before. I pull out my phone, hands shaking, and call Sasha. She answers immediately. Aaron, are you okay? I just met him, I say. Damon Jackson. We were at the same contract bidding. Sasha, he basically confessed. Not explicitly, but he told me he's coming for my company. That Sharon is helping him. Did he threaten you? Not directly, but the implication was clear. He said, the person closest to me is already on his side. He knows Sasha. He knows about me and Sharon, and he's using it against me. Aaron, listen to me. Sasha's voice is sharp, focused. Did anyone else hear this conversation? No. We were alone. Good. Don't confront Sharon. Don't let on that you know anything. Can you do that? I don't know. Sasha, he was so fucking confident. Like he's already won. Like I'm already dead. You're not dead, she says fiercely. And you're not going to be. Where are you right now? Chicago Memorial. In the main corridor. Stay there. I'm coming to you. You don't have to. I'm coming to you, she repeats. Don't move. Don't call anyone else. Just wait for me. She hangs up before I can argue. I slump against the wall, my expensive suit suddenly feeling like a costume. Like I'm playing dress up as a successful CEO when really I'm just a scared kid from the South Side who's about to lose everything. The person closest to you is already on my side. The words echo in my head like a death sentence. And the worst part, the absolute worst part, is that they're true. Chapter 10. Sasha the line. I break about 15 traffic laws getting to Chicago Memorial. Erin's voice on the phone. Shaking, devastated, barely holding it together. Did something to me. Broke through the professional walls I've built so carefully over the past 5 years. This isn't just a case anymore. This is personal. I find him exactly where he said he'd be. Slumped against a wall in the main corridor, still in his suit, looking like someone just told him the world was ending. Which, in a way, they did. Erin? I say softly, approaching like you would a wounded animal. He looks up, and the expression on his face nearly breaks me. He knows Sasha. Damon knows that I know, or suspects at least, and he doesn't care. He stood there and basically told me he's going to take everything, and there's nothing I can do to stop him. That's not true, isn't it? Erin laughs bitterly. My wife is working with him. My wife, Sasha. The woman I've loved since I was 7 years old. She's helping him destroy me. I glance around the corridor. Too public. Too exposed. Come on, I say, taking his arm gently. Let's find somewhere private. I lead him to a quiet waiting room on the 3rd floor. Empty except for us. We sit on uncomfortable plastic chairs that squeak with every movement. Tell me exactly what he said. I instruct. Every word you can remember. Erin recounts the conversation, and with each sentence, my anger grows. Damon Jackson didn't just taunt him, he confessed. Maybe not explicitly enough for a court of law, but enough for me to know exactly what we're dealing with. This isn't just corporate espionage. This is psychological warfare. He's trying to break you, I say when Erin finishes. Trying to make you feel powerless, hopeless, so that when they do make their move, you won't fight back. What if he's right? Erin asks quietly. What if I am powerless? If Sharon's already on his side? If she's been planning this for months? If she has lawyers and offshore accounts and... Erin. I grab his face between my hands, forcing him to look at me. Listen to me. You are not powerless. You have resources. You have evidence. You have me. His eyes. Those deep brown eyes that hold so much pain, search mine. Why are you doing this? Doing what? Caring. Going above and beyond. You could just collect your fee, gather your evidence, hand it over to law enforcement and walk away. Instead you're... He gestures between us. You're here, in a hospital waiting room, holding my face, telling me I'm not powerless. He's right. This is well beyond professional boundaries. I should step back. Should remind him I'm his investigator. Not his therapist. Not his friend. Not his... Because you deserve better, I hear myself say. Because I've been where you are. And I know what it's like to feel like the world is ending. And I know what it's like to have no one show up for you when you're falling apart. Sasha. And because I continue unable to stop now, I think you're a good man in a bad situation. And good men shouldn't have to face this kind of betrayal alone. The air between us shifts, changes, becomes charged with something that has nothing to do with professional obligation and everything to do with the way he's looking at me. Like I'm the only solid thing in a world that's crumbling. I'm still married, he says quietly. I know. To a woman who's plotting to kill me. I know that too. And I'm sitting here in a hospital waiting room, wanting to kiss my private investigator. What does that make me? Human. I whisper. The space between us shrinks. I'm not sure who moves first, him or me. Maybe both of us. Maybe neither. But suddenly his lips are on mine. And it's not gentle. It's not tender. It's desperate. Hungry. Like two drowning people reaching for air. His hands move to my hair, tangling in my locks. My hands grip his shoulders, pulling him closer. The kiss deepens, becomes consuming, and for a moment, just a moment, everything else disappears. No Sharon. No Damon. No conspiracy. No betrayal. Just this. Just us. Just the way his mouth feels against mine. The way his hands feel on my body. The way my heart hammers in my chest like it's trying to escape. Then reality crashes back. I pull away, breathing hard. We can't. I know. This is. I know. We stare at each other, both of us wrecked, both of us wanting more, both of us knowing we can't. I should go, I say. You should. Erin agrees. Neither of us moves. Erin, My phone rings. The sharp sound shatters the moment like glass breaking. I glance at the screen. Unknown number. Sasha Jones. I answer, trying to steady my voice. Ms. Jones, this is Detective Marcus Rivera with the Chicago Police Department. I'm calling about a case you're currently investigating. The Brown matter. Every nerve in my body goes on high alert. How do you know about that? We've been conducting our own investigation into Damon Jackson and potential corporate espionage activities. Your name came up in some financial records we subpoenaed. I'd like to meet with you and your client. Discuss what you found. Compare notes. I glance at Aaron. He's watching me, trying to read my expression. When? Ask. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Police headquarters. Can you make that work? We'll be there. I hang up and turn to Aaron. The police are investigating Damon Jackson. What? Since when? I don't know, but they want to meet with us tomorrow. Share information. I stand, my professional mask sliding back into place despite everything that just happened between us. This is good, Aaron. This means we're not alone in this. The authorities are already building a case. Or, Aaron says slowly, standing as well, it means Damon is even more dangerous than we thought. Dangerous enough that the police are already involved. He's right. This should be good news. Instead, it feels ominous. Either way, I say, we need to be prepared. I'll compile everything I have. You do the same. Tomorrow we find out what the police know. And tonight, Aaron asks. His eyes drop to my lips, and I know exactly what he's thinking, because I'm thinking it too. Tonight, I say firmly, you go home. Act normal. Don't give Sharon any reason to suspect you know. And I go back to my office and pretend that kiss didn't happen. Did it happen? He asks quietly. Or am I so desperate for something real that I imagined it? I step close to him one more time. Close enough to smell his cologne. Something clean and expensive. Close enough to see the flecks of gold in his brown eyes. It happened, I whisper. And it was real. And it can't happen again. Why not? Because you're my client. Because you're still married. Because we need to be smart about this, not reckless. Because you're scared, Aaron finishes. Scared of what this is. Of what it could be. He's right. I'm scared. I've spent 5 years building walls. Protecting myself. Making sure no one ever gets close enough to hurt me again. And Aaron Brown just climbed over every single one of those walls with one desperate kiss in a hospital waiting room. Tomorrow, I say, stepping back before I do something we'll both regret. 10 a.m. Police headquarters. Don't be late. I walk away before he can respond. Before I can change my mind. Before I can do what I really want to do, which is fall into his arms and forget about professional ethics and complicated situations and all the reasons this is a terrible idea. But as I ride the elevator down to the parking garage, my lips still tingling from his kiss, one thought keeps circling through my mind. I'm in trouble. Deep, dangerous, no way out trouble. Because I'm not falling for Aaron Brown. I've already fallen. Chapter 11. Sharon, the acceleration. I know something's wrong. I can't articulate what exactly. Aaron hasn't said anything. Hasn't accused me of anything. Hasn't changed his routine. But there's something in the way he looks at me now. A distance. A calculation. Like he's studying me instead of seeing me. Everything okay? I ask over breakfast. We're sitting at our kitchen island, marble countertops, sub-zero appliances, everything gleaming and expensive and cold. Fine, Aaron replies, not looking up from his tablet. Just reviewing contracts. The hospital bid? Yeah. How did it go yesterday? Now he does look up, and for just a moment, I see something flash in his eyes. Something sharp. It went well. We should hear back in 2 weeks. That's great, baby. I lean over, kiss his cheek. He doesn't pull away, but he doesn't lean into it either. I'm proud of you. Are you? The question catches me off guard. Of course. Why would you ask that? Just seems like we've been distant lately. Like you're somewhere else even when you're here. My pulse quickens. Does he know? Did he find out about Damon somehow? I've been stressed with the new campaign. I lie smoothly. The pharmaceutical account is demanding. But I'm here, Aaron. I'm always here. He nods slowly, then returns to his tablet. Good to know. The conversation ends, but the unease lingers. I text Damon as soon as Aaron leaves for work. We need to move faster. Something feels off. His response is immediate. Meet me at the office. 1 hour. Damon's pacing in my office when I arrive. His usual confidence replaced with something sharper. More volatile. What happened? I demand, closing the door. I ran into Aaron yesterday, at the hospital bid. My blood runs cold. You what? Relax. I was professional. Played it cool. He stops pacing, turning to face me. But Sharon, I think he knows something. The way he looked at me. It wasn't the look of a man who's oblivious. That's impossible. I've been careful. I haven't. Have you checked your phone? All your messages? Made sure you haven't accidentally sent something to the wrong person? The question hits me like ice water. My phone. My messages. I pull it out with shaking hands, scrolling through my text history with Aaron. Everything looks normal. Mundane conversations about dinner plans and dry cleaning and the charity gala. Nothing incriminating. See, I say, showing him. Nothing. You're paranoid. I'm careful, Damon corrects. There's a difference. And right now, my instincts are telling me we need to accelerate the timeline. Accelerate how? The Friday meeting with the lawyers, that's in 2 days. We file the paperwork, start the asset transfers. But that's not enough anymore. We need insurance. What kind of insurance? Damon pulls me close, his hands on my waist, his voice low and urgent. The permanent kind. We need to move on Aaron. Soon. Before he has a chance to figure out what we're doing and fight back. My mouth goes dry. You're talking about killing him. I'm talking about survival. If Aaron gets wind of this, if he starts investigating, starts pulling threads, everything unravels. You go to prison for corporate theft. I go to prison for conspiracy. We lose everything. But if he dies in a tragic accident, you're the grieving widow who inherits his empire. No questions. No investigations. Just sympathy and condolences and a smooth transition of power. I pull away from him, moving to the windows. Chicago sprawls below us, all steel and glass and ambition. I built this. Built my company, my reputation, my life. And Aaron was supposed to be my partner. My equal. Instead, he became my shadow. The person everyone asked about first. How's Aaron? What's Aaron working on? Isn't it amazing what Aaron's accomplished? Like I was just an accessory to his success story. When? I hear myself ask. Soon. This week, ideally. While he's still off balance. While he's focused on the hospital contract and doesn't see it coming. How? Damon joins me at the window, standing so close I can feel his heat. I have people. Professionals. They can make it look like an accident. A home invasion gone wrong. Car accident. Whatever you want. I don't want any of it. I whisper. I just want to be free. Then this is the price of freedom. His hand finds mine, fingers interlacing. I know it's hard. I know this isn't what you envisioned when we started this. But we're too deep now, Sharon. We either see it through or we go down together. He's right. I know he's right. Somewhere along the way I crossed a line. Made choices I can't undo. Became someone I don't fully recognize. But that someone is powerful. That someone takes what she wants. That someone doesn't apologize for her ambition. Okay, I say. Do it. You're sure? I turn to face him and I see my reflection in the window behind him. A woman in a designer suit, perfectly styled, perfectly composed. Perfectly capable of ordering her husband's murder. I'm sure. That night, Aaron comes home late. I'm already in bed, pretending to read a marketing report but actually replaying my conversation with Damon on an endless loop. I have people. Professionals. This week, ideally. The price of freedom. Hey! Aaron says softly, sitting on the edge of the bed. You still awake? Barely. How was your day? Long, complicated. He's quiet for a moment. Sharon, can I ask you something? My heart hammers. Of course. Are you happy? The question catches me completely off guard. What? Are you happy? With us. With our life. With. He gestures vaguely. Everything. I should lie. Should tell him I'm perfectly happy. That I love him. That everything is exactly as it should be. Instead, I hear myself say, I don't know anymore. He nods like he expected that answer. Yeah, me neither. We sit in silence. The weight of unspoken truths pressing down on us like a physical thing. Do you ever wonder? Aaron asks quietly. What would have happened if we'd made different choices? If I'd stayed in security consulting instead of building a company? If you'd focused on your art instead of advertising? If we'd just been different people? All the time, I admit. Do you think we'd be happier? I think we'd be different. I don't know if that's the same as happy. He reaches over, taking my hand. His touch is gentle, familiar. Everything Damon's isn't. I love you, Aaron says. I need you to know that. No matter what happens, no matter where we end up. I've loved you since I was 7 years old. And that doesn't just stop. Something inside me cracks. Just a hairline fracture, but it's there. I love you too. I whisper. And it's not a lie. That's the worst part. I do love Aaron. Some part of me will always love Aaron. But I love my freedom more. I love the version of myself that exists with Damon more. I love the possibility of becoming someone new more than I love who I am with Aaron. He kisses my forehead, then turns off the light. Within minutes, his breathing evens out into sleep. I lie awake in the darkness, staring at the ceiling, and I wonder if monsters know they're monsters. Or if they just call it evolution. Chapter 12. Damon, the setup. The professional I hire is named Victor. No last name, no background, no questions, just results. We meet in a parking garage in the Loop, concrete and shadows and the smell of gasoline. Very film noir. Victor would probably appreciate the irony if he had a sense of humor. He doesn't. You understand the parameters? I ask, handing him a manila folder with Aaron's information. Daily routines, security systems, vulnerabilities. Victor flips through the folder with clinical efficiency. Security expert means he'll be cautious. Harder to stage an accident. That's why I'm paying you double your usual rate. Triple, Victor counters. Security experts are careful. This will require planning, time, resources. Triple, I agree. But it needs to happen this week. Victor's eyes narrow. Why the rush? Because if it doesn't happen this week, it might not happen at all. The target is getting suspicious. We have a narrow window. Suspicious targets are dangerous targets. They prepare. They take precautions. Which is why I hired the best. I meet his gaze steadily. Can you do it or not? Victor is quiet for a long moment, studying Aaron's photo. Thursday night. He has a late meeting with his operations team. No wife. Building will be mostly empty. I can stage a malfunction in the security system, ironic, yes. And an electrical fire. By the time firefighters arrive, target will be dead from smoke inhalation. My stomach does something complicated. Not quite regret. Not quite guilt. Just acknowledgement that I'm crossing a line I can't uncross. How certain are you it will work? 90%. There's always a margin for error. Target could leave early. Could notice the fire before the smoke becomes lethal. Could be saved by emergency responders. And if he is, then we try again. Different method. More careful. Victor closes the folder. But I'm very good at my job. He won't be saved. I hand him an envelope. Cash. Untraceable. Half now. Half when it's done. Victor tucks the envelope into his jacket without counting it. One question. Yes. Why? Why what? Why kill him? You could steal his company, his money, his reputation without murder. Corporate espionage, I understand. But this. He taps the folder. This is personal. He's not wrong. This is personal. It became personal the moment Sharon looked at me the way she used to look at Aaron. The moment I realized I could take everything from him. Not just his company, but his wife, his legacy, his life. Let's call it tying up loose ends, I say. Victor nods like this makes perfect sense. Thursday night. You'll have your loose end tied. He walks away, disappearing into the shadows of the parking garage, and I'm left standing there with the weight of what I've just done settling on my shoulders. I'm gonna kill Aaron Brown. Not directly, not with my own hands, but I've set the wheels in motion, paid the money, given the order. I should feel something. Guilt, remorse, horror at what I've become. Instead, I feel relief, because Aaron Brown represents everything I'm not. Everything I can never be. He's good, noble, principled. He built his empire through hard work and integrity and treating people right. And people love him for it, respect him, trust him. While me, I'm the guy who cuts corners, who uses people, who rebuilds from ashes because I keep burning everything down. Aaron Brown is the hero of his own story, which means I need him to die so I can be the hero of mine. I meet Sharon that night at her office, late, after everyone else has gone home. She's at her desk, staring at her computer screen but not really seeing it. It's done, I say quietly. She looks up, and her face is pale. Done. Thursday night, during his late meeting. It'll look like an electrical fire, an accident. No one will suspect anything. Sharon stands, moving to the windows. Thursday, that's 2 days from now. 2 days until you're free. 2 days until my husband is dead. She corrects, her voice hollow. I come up behind her, wrapping my arms around her waist. 2 days until the man who's been holding you back is gone. 2 days until you can finally become who you're meant to be. She leans back against me, but there's no heat in it. No passion. Just exhaustion. Tell me this is right, she whispers. Tell me we're not making a mistake. We're not making a mistake. How can you be sure? Because, I say, turning her to face me, the only mistake would be stopping now. We've come too far. Risked too much. If we back out now, Aaron will eventually figure out what we were planning. And then everything we've worked for, everything we've built, it all falls apart. But if he dies, you inherit everything. His company becomes yours. His assets become yours. You're the grieving widow, beyond suspicion. And 6 months from now, when the dust settles, we merge Brown Security Solutions with Phoenix Security. Create an empire. Together. I can see her wavering. See the fear and ambition warring behind her eyes. What if something goes wrong? She asks. Nothing will go wrong. The professional I hired is the best. He's done this dozens of times. Aaron won't suffer. Won't even know what's happening. One moment he's working late, the next he's unconscious from smoke inhalation. Painless. You promise. The vulnerability in her voice surprises me. She actually cares. Despite everything. Despite the plotting, the betrayal, the affair. Some part of Sharon still loves Aaron Brown. Which is inconvenient. I promise. I lie. Thursday night it'll be over. And Friday morning, you wake up as one of the most powerful women in Chicago. She kisses me then, and it's different from our usual kisses. It's desperate. Clinging. Like she's trying to convince herself that this us is worth what it's costing. I kiss her back, playing the role she needs me to play. The supportive partner. The co-conspirator. The man who understands her in ways Aaron never could. But even as I hold her, even as I murmur reassurances, I'm thinking ahead. To what comes after Thursday night. To what happens when Aaron Brown is dead and buried. To whether Sharon Brown will still be useful to me, or if she'll become another loose end that needs tying. I haven't decided yet, but I have time. 2 days to be exact. Chapter 13, Aaron the Trap. The meeting with Detective Rivera is everything I hoped for and everything I feared. Sasha and I sit across from him in an interrogation room that smells like bad coffee and desperation. Rivera is mid-40s, tired eyes, the look of a man who's seen too much. Thank you for coming in, he says, sliding a folder across the table. We've been investigating Damon Jackson for 8 months. Corporate fraud, racketeering, conspiracy to commit various financial crimes. 8 months. I repeat, why haven't you arrested him? Because we need airtight evidence. Jackson is smart. Layers everything through shell corporations, uses intermediaries, never gets his hands dirty directly. Rivera opens the folder, revealing surveillance photos. But we're getting close. And your involvement, your wife's involvement, might be the break we need. My stomach turns. My wife, Sharon Brown, has been meeting regularly with Jackson. We have photos, timestamps, financial records showing transfers between Jones Brown Advertising and several LLCs connected to Jackson. He slides more documents across. We believe she's helping him siphon assets from Brown Security Solutions. Sasha reaches for my hand under the table. I grip it like a lifeline. What we don't have, Rivera continues, is proof of intent. We can show meetings, suspicious financial activity, but we can't prove criminal conspiracy without more. What do you need? Sasha asks. We need them to make a move. A clear, actionable move that we can document and prosecute. Rivera leans forward. Mr. Brown, we believe you're in danger. Based on Jackson's history and the pattern we're seeing, we think they're planning something beyond corporate theft. They're planning to kill me. I say flatly. Rivera doesn't look surprised. That's our working theory, which is why we need your cooperation. We need you to continue your normal routine. Act like you suspect nothing. Give them the opportunity to make their move. You want to use me as bait, I clarify. We want to catch them in the act. With your consent, we'll set up surveillance. Protection. The moment they make a move, we'll be there. I look at Sasha. She's pale but composed. It's risky, she says quietly. It's necessary, Rivera counters. Right now, we can arrest them for financial crimes. Maybe get a few years. But if they attempt murder, if we catch them trying to kill you, that's life in prison. No parole. No possibility of them hurting anyone else. When? Ask. Our intelligence suggests something is planned for this week. Possibly as early as Thursday. Thursday. 2 days away. What do I do? You do exactly what you'd normally do. We'll have undercover officers in your building. Surveillance teams watching your home. If they make a move, we'll intervene before any real danger. Before? Sasha challenges. You can guarantee that? Rivera hesitates. We'll do everything in our power. That's not a guarantee, she snaps. You're asking him to put his life at risk on the chance that your team reacts fast enough. Ms. Jones, I understand your concern. Do you? Because from where I'm sitting, you're asking my client to be bait in a trap that might not work. It's the only way to get them, Rivera says firmly. The only way to make sure they face real consequences for what they're planning. The room falls silent. I can feel Sasha's tension, her fear for me, warring with the knowledge that Rivera is right. I'll do it, I say. Aaron, Sasha starts. I'll do it, I repeat. But I have conditions. I want Sasha with me. I want confirmation of your surveillance teams. And I want a panic button. Something I can activate if things go wrong. Rivera nods. Agreed. We'll have everything in place by tomorrow night. We spend the next hour going over logistics. Routes I'll take. Places I'll be. The Thursday night meeting with my operations team that, according to Rivera's intelligence, is when they plan to strike. When we finally leave the police station, the sun is setting, painting Chicago in shades of orange and red. Blood colors. You don't have to do this, Sasha says as we reach her car. Yes, I do. Aaron. Sasha, listen to me. I turn to face her, taking both her hands in mine. For 20 years, I've loved a woman who's planning to kill me. 20 years of building a life that was apparently built on sand. If I don't see this through, if I don't face this head on, then everything I've been, everything I've believed about myself, it's all meaningless. It's not meaningless. You're a good man who was betrayed. That doesn't make you weak, doesn't it? I missed every sign, every red flag. I was so busy being the devoted husband, the successful CEO, the guy who kept his promises, that I didn't see my own wife plotting my murder. That's not your fault. Maybe not, but it's my responsibility to finish it. I squeeze her hands. I need to know, Sasha. I need to look Sharon in the eye when they arrest her and know that I did everything I could to stop her, to save myself, to refuse to be a victim. Sasha's eyes are bright with unshed tears. I'm scared for you. I'm scared too. If something goes wrong, then I'll have died knowing that at least one person in the world saw me for who I really am, and cared anyway. Aaron. I kiss her before she can finish the sentence. Kiss her like I might not get another chance. Kiss her like she's the only real thing in a world of lies. She kisses me back with the same desperate intensity, her hands fisting in my shirt, her body pressed against mine. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. When this is over, I say quietly, when Sharon and Damon are in prison and the dust settles and I'm still standing, I want to do this right. Date you, court you, take you to dinner and learn everything about you. Not as your client. Not as some damaged man you're trying to save. Just as Aaron. Is that okay? A tear escapes down her cheek. That's more than okay. Good. I wipe the tear away with my thumb. Then I guess I'd better survive Thursday night. You'd better, she says fiercely. Because I'm not letting you die before our first official date. I laugh despite everything. Despite the fear and the betrayal and the knowledge that in 2 days, someone is going to try to kill me. I laugh because Sasha Jones makes me feel alive in a way I haven't felt in years. And if I'm going to die, at least I'll die knowing what it feels like to be seen, to be wanted, to be loved not for what I've built or what I represent, but for who I am. Thursday night, I say, don't let me out of your sight. I won't, she promises. I'll be there, every second. And Erin, yeah, when this is over, you're taking me somewhere expensive for that first date. Somewhere with wine lists and dress codes and tiny portions that cost too much. Deal. We stand in the parking lot as the sun sets completely, holding each other, preparing for the war that's coming. And for the first time since I read that accidental text message from my wife, I feel something other than devastation. I feel ready. Part 4. The Reckoning. Chapter 14. Thursday night. Erin. The operations meeting is scheduled for 8 p.m. I arrive at Brown Security Solutions headquarters at 7:30, just like I always do. Early, prepared, professional. Except tonight, I'm wearing a wire. Detective Rivera and his team fitted me with it an hour ago. A tiny microphone taped to my chest, so small you'd never notice it under my dress shirt. There's also a panic button disguised as a pen in my jacket pocket. Press it, and undercover officers stationed throughout the building will converge on my location within seconds. Theoretically, you good? Sasha asks through my earpiece. She's in an unmarked van 2 blocks away with Rivera, monitoring everything in real time. I tap my watch twice, our signal for yes. The building is quiet. Most of my staff left hours ago. Just the night security team and the operations crew scheduled for the 8 p.m. meeting. Except there is number 8 p.m. meeting. Rivera invented it. Put it on my calendar. Made sure Sharon would see it when she checked my schedule this morning. Made sure Damon would know I'd be here. Alone. Late at night. In a mostly empty building. Perfect target. I take the elevator to my office on the 42nd floor, my heart hammering against my ribs. The wire feels like it's burning against my skin, even though I know that's impossible. My office is dark. I flip on the lights, and everything looks normal. My desk. My computer. The view of Chicago glittering like scattered diamonds. The last view I might ever see. Erin, we have visual. Sasha's voice comes through the earpiece. Rivera's team is in position. You're covered. I tap my watch twice again, then sit behind my desk and wait. 8:15 p.m. Nothing. 8:30 p.m. Still nothing. Maybe they changed their minds. Maybe Rivera's intelligence was wrong. Maybe the lights go out. Not just in my office. The entire floor plunges into darkness. Erin. Sasha's voice crackles with static. The building's power just cut. We're more static. Can't see. Positioning. The earpiece goes dead. Backup generators should kick in within 30 seconds. Emergency lighting should activate. But the darkness holds thick and absolute. My hand moves to the panic button pen in my jacket pocket. Then I smell it. Smoke. Fuck. I breathe, standing quickly. The smoke is coming from the ventilation system. Thin wisps at first, then thicker, darker. This is it. This is how they're doing it. Cut the power. Pump smoke through the vents. Make it look like an electrical fire. By the time firefighters arrive, I'll be dead from smoke inhalation. Elegant. Professional. And I'm trapped on the 42nd floor. I press the panic button once, twice, 3 times. Nothing happens. Either the power outage disabled the signal or something went wrong with Rivera's plan, or the door to my office opens. A figure appears in the doorway, backlit by emergency lighting from the hallway. Tall, male, moving with predatory purpose. Mr. Brown, a voice says, accented. Russian, maybe. Please don't make this difficult. I grab the first thing I can reach, a glass paperweight from my desk, and hurl it at the figure. He dodges easily, laughs. Security expert, yes? You should know better. No escape from 42nd floor. No rescue coming. Just you and me and the smoke. The smoke is getting thicker. My eyes are watering. My lungs burning. I need to get out. Now. I rush for the door, but the figure blocks my path. Something glints in his hand. A knife. Sit down, he commands. Make it easy. Smoke will take you in minutes. Painless. Or I can make it painful. Your choice. Who hired you? I demand, backing away. Was it Damon Jackson? The figure laughs again. You know who hired me. Why ask questions you already know answers to? Sharon. My wife hired this man to kill me. The reality of it, the absolute, undeniable truth, hits me like a physical blow. She won't get away with this, I say. She already has. The figure moves closer. Now sit down. I glance at the windows. 42 floors up. Even if I could break the glass. Don't even think about it, the figure says, following my gaze. You jump, you die. You sit, you die. Only difference is how much pain you feel first. The smoke is choking me now. I can barely see, barely breathe. This is it. This is how I die. Not in a blaze of glory. Not fighting for something noble. Just suffocating in my own office while my wife's hired killer watches. Then I hear it. Shouting. Footsteps. The door behind the figure explodes open, and suddenly the hallway is full of people. Police officers with flashlights and weapons drawn. Down. Get down. Police. The figure spins, knife raised, and 3 officers fire simultaneously. He drops like a puppet with cut strings. Someone grabs me. An officer in tactical gear, and half drags, half carries me toward the stairs. Away from the smoke. Away from the body. Away from death. I'm vaguely aware of other things happening. Officers flooding the floor. Firefighters arriving. Someone putting an oxygen mask on my face. But all I can think about is the man's words echoing in my head. You know who hired me? Sharon. My wife. The woman I've loved since I was 7 years old. She really tried to kill me. Chapter 15. Sharon, the collapse. I'm at home when it happens. Sitting in our living room with a glass of wine, pretending to watch television, actually watching the clock. 8:47 p.m. It should be done by now. Erin should be. My phone rings. Unknown number. My hands shake as I answer. Hello, Mrs. Brown. This is Detective Marcus Rivera with the Chicago Police Department. I need you to come downtown immediately. The world tilts. What? Why? What's happened? There's been an incident at your husband's office. He's alive, but we need to speak with you. Now. Alive. Erin's alive. The word reverberates through my skull like a gunshot. I'll be right there. I manage hanging up. I sit there for 10 full seconds, unable to move, unable to process. Alive, which means something went wrong, which means the plan failed, which means my phone rings again. Damon, did you hear? His voice is tight, controlled, but I can hear the panic underneath. The police called. They want me to come in. Don't go. I have to go. If I don't, it looks suspicious. Sharon, listen to me very carefully. Damon's voice drops to barely above a whisper. If Erin's alive, if the hit failed, that means the police might have been involved. It might have been a setup. A setup to catch us, to get evidence. Sharon, you need to run. Right now. Get to O'Hare. I have a private plane fueled and ready. We can be in the Caymans by midnight. I'm not running. Then you're going to prison. I'm not running. I repeat, my voice steadier. Then I feel. If I run, I look guilty. If I go in, cooperate, act shocked and horrified that someone tried to kill my husband, there's still a chance. There's no chance. Don't you understand? If this was a setup, they have evidence. Recordings. Surveillance. They've been building a case. Then we're already caught. Running just makes it worse. Damon is silent for a long moment. Then, you're on your own. What? I tried to warn you. Tried to get you to see reason. But you want to play the loyal wife? Fine. You do that. Me? I'm getting on that plane. Damon, wait. He hangs up. I stare at my phone, and for the first time in months, I see everything clearly. Damon was never my partner. Never my co-conspirator. Never my lover who understood me in ways Erin never could. He was using me, playing me, setting me up to take the fall while he escaped. And I was too blind, too intoxicated by the fantasy of power and freedom, to see it. I grab my keys with shaking hands and drive to the police station in a daze. Detective Rivera is waiting for me in an interrogation room. He's not alone, there's a woman with him. Black, beautiful, professional. She looks familiar, but I can't place her. Mrs. Brown, thank you for coming in, Rivera says. This is Sasha Jones, a private investigator working with us on this case. Sasha Jones. The name clicks into place. Jones Investigations. I've seen her business card before. Someone recommended her services for a potential advertising client background check. But why is she here? Why is she working with the police on? Oh no. Where's my husband? I demand, trying to maintain composure. Is Erin okay? He's fine. Smoke inhalation. But he'll recover fully. Rivera gestures to a chair. Please, sit. I sit because my legs won't hold me anymore. Mrs. Brown, we need to ask you some questions about your relationship with Damon Jackson. Damon? My creative director? What does he have to do with? We know about the affair. Sasha interrupts, her voice cold. We know about the financial transfers. We know about the meetings with lawyers to discuss asset transfers. We know about the offshore accounts. And we know about the contract you and Jackson took out on your husband's life. The room spins. That's insane. I would never. We have recordings, Rivera says. Surveillance footage. Financial records. And we have the professional hitman you hired in custody. He's already talking. Already implicating you and Jackson. I want a lawyer. That's your right. Rivera slides a folder across the table. But before you lawyer up, you should know Jackson's already fled. Private plane to the Caymans left O'Hare 20 minutes ago. He's gone, Mrs. Brown. Left you holding the bag. Left you to face charges alone. I open the folder with trembling hands. Photos. Me and Damon at Gibson's. At the plaza. In my office. Timestamps. Dates. A complete record of our affair. Financial documents showing transfers from Jones Brown accounts to shell corporations linked to Damon. Emails I don't remember sending, discussing asset reallocation and restructuring protocols. And recordings. Audio of conversations I had with Damon. About Aaron. About the plan. About... I can't wait to watch his face when he realizes what he's lost. My own voice. My own words. That text was 3 weeks ago, Rivera says quietly. You sent it to your husband by accident. He's known for 3 weeks what you were planning. And he's been working with us to build a case against you. Aaron knew. For 3 weeks, Aaron knew I was betraying him, and he said nothing. Did nothing. Just watched. Waited. Gathered evidence. The hitman you hired to kill your husband? Sasha leans forward, and there's something in her eyes. Not just professional detachment, but personal anger. His name is Viktor Kozlov. He's wanted in 4 countries for murder for hire. And he's willing to testify that you and Damon Jackson paid him $150,000 to stage an electrical fire and kill Aaron Brown. I didn't. You did, Sasha says flatly. And now you're going to prison for it. Conspiracy to commit murder. Attempted murder. Corporate fraud. You're looking at life, Mrs. Brown. Life without parole. The walls are closing in. The room is too small. I can't breathe. I want to see Aaron. No, Rivera says. Please. I need to talk to him. Need to explain. There's nothing to explain. Sasha stands, and now I see it. The way she looks at Rivera, the protective edge in her voice when she mentions Aaron. You plotted to kill your husband. You conspired with a criminal to steal his company. You hired an assassin to murder him in his own office. What possible explanation could there be? My voice breaks. I just wanted to be free. Free. Sasha's laugh is bitter. You were married to a good man. A man who loved you. Who built an empire with you. Who would have given you anything you asked for. And instead of talking to him, instead of being honest about what you wanted, you decided to kill him. That's not freedom. That's cowardice. She's right. God help me, she's right about everything. Mrs. Brown, Rivera says, standing as well. You're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, and multiple counts of corporate fraud. You have the right to remain silent. The words fade into background noise as handcuffs click around my wrists. This is real. This is happening. I'm going to prison. And Aaron is alive and he's free and he's probably with her. With Sasha Jones, who looks at him the way I used to look at him. Before I forgot how. Before I lost myself in ambition and resentment and Damon Jackson's poisonous promises. They lead me out of the interrogation room in handcuffs, and I see him, Aaron, standing in the hallway, an oxygen tank beside him, bruises on his face, smoke damage darkening his shirt. Alive. Our eyes meet and I expect to see hatred, fury, the righteous anger of a man betrayed. Instead, I see something worse. I see pity. Aaron. I start, but officers pull me away before I can finish. The last thing I see before they put me in the police car is Aaron turning away. Turning toward Sasha Jones. Turning toward his future. A future that doesn't include me. Chapter 16. Damon, the flight. The private plane is crossing into international airspace when my phone rings. I almost don't answer. Almost let it go to voicemail. But curiosity wins out. This is Detective Rivera, Chicago PD. Mr. Jackson, you're aware that fleeing the country doesn't actually help your situation, right? I smile despite myself. I'm not fleeing. I'm taking a vacation. To the Caymans. With $2.3 million in liquid assets hastily transferred this afternoon. Some vacation. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you don't. Here's what I do know, Sharon Brown is in custody. Viktor Kozlov is in custody and cooperating. We have recordings, financial records, surveillance footage. Everything we need to put you away for life. Then I guess it's good I'm not in Chicago anymore. The Caymans have an extradition treaty with the United States. Rivera says patiently. We've already filed the paperwork. You'll be arrested the moment you land. Probably spending tonight in a Cayman Islands holding cell before we fly you back tomorrow. My stomach drops. You're bluffing. I'm really not. We've been watching you for 8 months, Jackson. Did you really think we didn't anticipate you running? We have officers waiting at the airport. Your passport's been flagged. Your accounts are frozen. It's over. The plane. I could tell the pilot to turn around. To fly somewhere else. Somewhere without extradition treaties. But where? And for how long? And what kind of life is that? Constantly running. Constantly looking over my shoulder. Viktor talked. Rivera continues. Gave us everything. Dates. Conversations. How you hired him. How Sharon approved the hit. How you paid him. He's facing life in prison. And his only bargaining chip is testifying against you. Sharon will corroborate that. I say fishing. She'll tell you it was all my idea. That I coerced her. Sharon's already lawyered up. Not saying a word. Which means all we have is Viktor's testimony and the evidence we collected. Evidence that shows you were the architect. You reached out to Sharon. You rekindled the affair. You proposed the theft. You hired the hitman. Fuck. Here's what's going to happen, Rivera says. You're going to land in the Caymans. You're going to be arrested. And then you're going to be extradited back to Chicago to face charges for conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, corporate fraud, and about 15 other felonies I don't have time to list. You're looking at life without parole, Jackson. And that's if you're lucky. What if I cooperate? I hear myself ask. Cooperate how? Testify against Sharon. Give you everything. Recordings, communications, proof that she was more involved than I've let on. Rivera is quiet for a moment. We don't need you to testify against Sharon. We already have enough to convict her. What we need is you in custody so you can't hurt anyone else. Then we have nothing to talk about. No. Rivera agrees. We don't. See you in Chicago, Mr. Jackson. I hope your vacation was worth it. He hangs up. I sit in the leather seat of the private plane, surrounded by luxury that suddenly feels like a cage, and I realize something. I miscalculated. I thought Aaron Brown was a soft target. A good man who wouldn't see the threat coming. A devoted husband too blinded by love to recognize betrayal. I was wrong about all of it. Aaron saw it coming. Saw me coming. And instead of crumbling, instead of falling apart the way weak men do, he built a trap. Used himself as bait. Caught me and Sharon and Victor in a web so carefully constructed we never even felt the threads tightening. He outplayed me. The good guy won. And I, the man who always sees the angles, who always has a plan. I have nothing. No escape. No leverage. No moves left. Just the certainty that when this plane lands, my life as I know it ends. Sir? The flight attendant asks, appearing at my elbow. Would you like a drink? I laugh. Actually laugh. Because what else can I do? Scotch, I say. The most expensive bottle you have. Might as well enjoy it while I can. She returns with a crystal tumbler filled with amber liquid that probably costs more than most people make in a week. I take a sip, savoring it, and I think about Sharon. Did she really believe we'd get away with it? Did she really think we could kill Aaron Brown and ride off into the sunset together? Or did some part of her know? The part that made her hesitate, that made her question, that made her say, I love you too to Aaron even while plotting his death. Did that part know this would end in destruction? That we were never the heroes of this story. Just the villains who forgot that in real life, villains rarely win. The plane begins its descent into the Caymans, and I drain the scotch in one long swallow. Freedom was nice while it lasted. All 43 minutes of it. Part 5 Rebirth. Chapter 17 Aaron 6 months later. The courtroom is packed. Media, curious onlookers, corporate rivals eager to see the mighty fallen. And me, sitting in the front row of the gallery, watching my wife of 12 years face justice. Former wife, technically. The divorce was finalized 3 months ago. Sharon didn't contest it. Didn't fight for anything. Just signed the papers from her jail cell and let me go. The least she could do, considering she tried to have me killed. All rise. The bailiff announces. The Honorable Judge Patricia Okonkwo presiding. We stand. The judge enters. A black woman in her 60s with steel gray hair and eyes that miss nothing. Be seated, Judge Okonkwo says, settling behind the bench. We're here for sentencing in the matter of the People versus Sharon Jones Brown. Ms. Brown, please stand. Sharon rises. She's wearing a simple gray suit, nothing like the designer clothes she used to favor. Her natural hair is pulled back in a plain ponytail. No makeup, no jewelry except her wedding ring. She still hasn't taken it off. I don't know why that bothers me, but it does. Ms. Brown, Judge Okonkwo begins. You've been convicted by a jury of your peers of conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, corporate fraud, and multiple counts of wire fraud. Before I impose sentence, do you have anything to say? Sharon looks at the judge, then at her lawyer, then finally at me. Our eyes meet across the courtroom, and for a moment, just a moment, I see the girl with beads in her hair. The girl who promised to build empires with me. The girl I loved. I'm sorry, Sharon says quietly. To the court. To the people I've hurt. To... Her voice breaks. To Aaron. I'm so deeply, profoundly sorry. I don't expect forgiveness. I don't deserve it. I just need you to know that I loved you. I still love you. And I will regret what I did for the rest of my life. Something in my chest cracks. Not breaks, it's been broken for 6 months. Just cracks a little more. Your Honor, Sharon continues. I know I have to face the consequences of my actions. I'm prepared to do that. But I want it on record that Damon Jackson manipulated me, groomed me, took advantage of my insecurities and my ambitions and twisted them into something monstrous. I'm not saying I'm innocent. I'm not. But I want the court to understand that I didn't wake up one day and decide to kill my husband. It was a process. Corruption. And I wish, God, I wish I'd been strong enough to resist it. Judge Okonkwo nods slowly. Ms. Brown, I've read the psychiatric evaluations, the character statements, the testimony from Dr. Morrison about coercive control and manipulation. I understand that Mr. Jackson played a significant role in these events. Hope flickers in Sharon's eyes. However, the judge continues, and that hope dies. You are an educated, accomplished woman, CEO of a major advertising firm. You had resources, options, the ability to leave your marriage if you were unhappy. Instead, you chose to conspire to murder your husband and steal his assets. That choice, that fundamental choice, was yours alone. Sharon's shoulders slump. The prosecution has recommended life in prison without possibility of parole, Judge Okonkwo says. The defense has requested leniency, a sentence of 15 to 25 years with possibility of parole. I've considered both positions carefully. The courtroom is so quiet I can hear my own heartbeat. Ms. Brown, I'm sentencing you to 30 years in federal prison with possibility of parole after 25 years. Additionally, you are ordered to pay restitution to Mr. Brown in the amount of $4.7 million for the assets you attempted to steal. You will also forfeit all ownership in Jones Brown Advertising, which will be dissolved and its assets distributed to creditors and shareholders. 30 years. Sharon will be 68 when she's eligible for parole. I watch her face as the reality sinks in. She doesn't cry, doesn't protest, just nods once, accepting it. Mr. Brown, Judge Okonkwo says, looking directly at me. Would you like to make a victim impact statement? I stand slowly. Everyone in the courtroom turns to look at me. I walk to the podium, my prepared statement folded in my jacket pocket. I've been working on it for weeks. Pages of anger and hurt and betrayal and loss. But when I open my mouth, what comes out is different. Your Honor, I loved Sharon Brown for 28 years. From the time I was 7 years old until the day I read a text message that revealed she was planning to kill me. 28 years is a long time to love someone. Long enough that even now, even after everything, some part of me still loves her. Still remembers who she used to be. Who we used to be together. I glance at Sharon. She's crying silently, tears streaming down her face. But that person, the girl on the swing set, the woman who built an empire beside me, she's gone. Maybe she's been gone for years and I just didn't want to see it. Or maybe Damon Jackson really did corrupt her. Turn her into someone capable of murder. I don't know. What I do know is that the woman standing in this courtroom tried to have me killed. And I can't forgive that. I won't forgive that. I take a breath. I hope prison gives Sharon time to reflect, to understand the magnitude of what she did, to become, maybe, the person she should have been. But I also hope she understands that there's no coming back from this. No redemption arc. No happy ending. She made choices, and those choices have consequences. And those consequences are going to define the rest of her life. I step away from the podium. Thank you, Mr. Brown, Judge Okonkwo says. Ms. Brown, you will be remanded into custody immediately to begin serving your sentence. This court is adjourned. The gavel falls. Officers move to place Sharon in handcuffs. She doesn't resist. Just looks at me one last time. I'm sorry, she mouths. I turn away. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm like locusts. Mr. Brown, how do you feel about the sentence? Do you think justice was served? Will you rebuild Jones Brown Advertising? Is it true you're in a relationship with the private investigator who helped catch your wife? I ignore them all, pushing through the crowd toward the car where Sasha is waiting. She sees me coming and opens the passenger door. I slide in, and she pulls away from the courthouse before the reporters can surround us completely. We drive in silence for several blocks. You okay? Sasha finally asks. I don't know. Am I supposed to be? There's no supposed to be. You can feel however you feel. I stare out the window at Chicago passing by. 30 years. She got 30 years. She tried to kill you, Aaron. She deserved 30 years. I know. Intellectually, I know that. But you still love her. Some version of her. The version that doesn't exist anymore. I turn to look at Sasha. She's wearing a burgundy dress that makes her skin glow. Her locks are styled in an elegant updo. She looks beautiful. Professional. Everything I need right now. Is that crazy? No, Sasha says softly. It's human. You can hate what someone did and still grieve who they used to be. Have you? Grieved your ex-husband. Every day for 5 years. And then one day I woke up and realized I'd stopped. Not because I forgave him. Not because the anger went away. But because I'd built a new life. A better life. And he didn't have a place in it anymore. Not even as someone to hate. How long did it take to build that new life? Sasha pulls up to a stoplight and turns to face me fully. I'm still building it, Aaron. Every day. One choice at a time. One step forward. She reaches over, taking my hand. And for the past 6 months, you've been part of that life. Part of what makes it better. My throat tightens. Sasha, I know we said we'd wait until everything was settled. Until Sharon was sentenced and Damon was convicted and all the loose ends were tied up. But Aaron, she squeezes my hand. It's settled now. It's over. So I need to know. Do you still want to take me to dinner? To do this right? To try? Do I? The smart answer is no. I'm a mess. Still processing trauma. Still grieving a marriage that ended in attempted murder. Still figuring out who I am without Sharon. But the honest answer? Yes, I say. God, yes. I want to take you to dinner. Want to learn everything about you. Want to wake up every morning and choose you. Choose us. Choose something real instead of the fantasy I was living before. Sasha's smile could power the entire city. Then we start tonight. Somewhere expensive with dress codes and tiny portions as promised. Tonight. Tonight, she confirms. Because we've waited long enough. And because life is too short to put off the things that matter. She's right. Life is too short. I almost died 6 months ago. Almost lost everything. But I didn't. I survived. I fought back. I rebuilt. And now I have a chance, a real chance, at something genuine. With a woman who sees me for exactly who I am. Who saved me in more ways than she knows. Alinea, I say. 8 o'clock. I'll wear the navy Tom Ford. Sasha laughs. A rich, full sound that fills the car. The one Sharon always made you wear? New memories. I say firmly. Same suit, different meaning. I like that, Sasha says, pulling back into traffic. Reclaiming things. Making them ours instead of letting them belong to the past. Exactly. We drive through Chicago. The city where I was born, where I built my empire, where my life imploded and rebuilt itself in the span of 6 months. And for the first time since I read that accidental text message, I feel something other than pain. I feel hope. Chapter 18, Sasha, the beginning. I'm standing in front of my bathroom mirror at 6:30 p.m., trying to decide between 2 dresses, when my phone rings. My mother, of course. Hi, Mom. Sasha Denise Jones. Why am I finding out from your cousin Trina that you're dating a client? I close my eyes. It's complicated. Dating a client is never complicated, baby. It's either unethical or it's not. And you've spent 5 years building your reputation. Mom, he's not a client anymore. The case is closed. Concluded. His ex-wife is in prison. We kept everything professional while I was working for him, and now you're dating a man who just went through a traumatic attempted murder? A man whose wife tried to kill him? Sasha, honey, that's not complicated. That's a disaster waiting to happen. I should be annoyed. Should defend Aaron. Defend us. Instead, I find myself asking, what if it's not a disaster? What if it's exactly what we both need? My mother sighs. That long-suffering sigh that says she's about to impart wisdom whether I want it or not. Baby, I've seen you build walls. For 5 years, I've watched you shut everyone out. Bury yourself in work. Refuse to even consider dating because you were too afraid of being hurt again. And I understood. God knows I understood after what Marcus did to you. My ex-husband's name still stings. But Sasha, Mom continues, her voice gentler now. At some point you have to choose to live again, to risk again, to let someone in even though it's scary, even though they might hurt you, because the alternative, building walls so high that no one can ever reach you, that's not protection. That's prison. I know, I whisper. So this Aaron Brown, he's a good man, treats you right, sees you. Mom, he's everything. He's kind and brilliant and broken in all the ways I'm broken. And when I'm with him, I don't feel like I have to perform. Don't have to be the tough PI who has all the answers. I can just be. Then give him a chance. Mom says simply. Give yourself a chance. Just be careful, baby. Guard your heart even as you open it. Because trauma recognizes trauma, and sometimes 2 wounded people heal each other. But sometimes they just reopen each other's wounds. I'll be careful. And Sasha? Wear the black dress. The one with the slit. Make him remember why he's lucky you said yes. I laugh despite everything. Love you, Mom. Love you too, baby. Call me tomorrow and tell me everything. I arrive at Alinea at 7:55 p.m. Aaron's already there, waiting in the lobby in that navy Tom Ford suit. He looks incredible. The suit fits him perfectly, emphasizing his broad shoulders and lean build. But it's his smile when he sees me. Open, genuine, uncomplicated. That makes my breath catch. Sasha Jones, he says, standing and crossing to me. You look absolutely stunning. You clean up pretty well yourself, Mr. Brown. Aaron, he corrects, taking my hand. No more Mr. Brown. Not tonight. Tonight I'm just Aaron. And you're just Sasha. And we're just 2 people on a first date. A first date that's 6 months overdue. The best things are worth waiting for. The hostess leads us to a private table. Intimate, candlelit, overlooking the Chicago skyline. It's perfect. Almost too perfect. You nervous? I ask once we're seated. Terrified, Aaron admits. I haven't been on a first date in 20 years. And the last one ended with my wife trying to kill me, so the bar is pretty low. I laugh and it breaks the tension. Okay, rule number 1. No talking about Sharon or the case tonight. Not about the trial, not about the sentencing, none of it. Tonight is about us. About getting to know each other outside of trauma and betrayal and police interrogation rooms. Deal. So if we're not talking about the case, what do we talk about? Everything else. Start with something easy. Favorite food. Soul food. Specifically, my grandmother's macaroni and cheese. She put so much cheese in it that it was basically a heart attack on a plate. But God, it was good. Music. Oldies. Motown. My mama used to play it while she cleaned the house on Saturday mornings. I can't hear the Temptations without thinking of her dancing with a mop. Dreams? Not the become a CEO kind. The real ones. The ones you had before life got complicated. Aaron is quiet for a moment, his fingers tracing patterns on the tablecloth. I wanted to be an artist, he finally says. A painter. I know that sounds ridiculous coming from a man who runs a security company. But when I was young, before everything got serious, I used to paint. Portraits mostly. People's faces. Their stories. That's not ridiculous. That's beautiful. I gave it up when I started the company. Told myself I didn't have time. That it was impractical. That successful people don't waste time on hobbies. He looks up at me. But the truth is I was scared. Scared of wanting something that didn't fit the narrative I'd built. The self-made CEO. The guy who clawed his way out of poverty. Artists don't fit that story. Maybe it's time to rewrite your story, I suggest. Maybe it is. What about you? What's Sasha Jones's real dream? To write a book, I admit. About the cases I've worked. The things I've seen. The patterns of human behavior that repeat over and over. Betrayal, greed, desperation, love gone wrong. I want to document it. Maybe help other people see the red flags before it's too late. That's powerful. Why haven't you? Same reason you stopped painting. Fear. What if I'm not good enough? What if no one cares? What if I expose too much of myself and get hurt again? Erin reaches across the table, taking my hand. Here's what I've learned in the past 6 months. Fear is inevitable. It's what you do despite the fear that matters. And Sasha, you're one of the bravest people I've ever met. You'll write that book. I know it. The sommelier arrives with wine and we order an elaborate tasting menu that the restaurant is famous for. Tiny, artistic portions that taste like heaven. We talk for hours. About everything and nothing. About our childhoods in Chicago, his on the South Side, mine in Englewood. About books we love. Movies that made us cry. The moment we each knew we were in trouble with the other. For me, Erin says, it was in that hospital waiting room, when you held my face and told me I wasn't powerless. I just confronted Damon. Just realized the depth of Sharon's betrayal. And you showed up. You showed up and refused to let me fall apart. And I thought, this woman sees me, really sees me, and I knew I was in trouble. For me, I say, it was earlier than that, when you first walked into my office with that text message. You could have been angry, could have been bitter and vindictive and wanted revenge. But instead you were just broken, vulnerable, and you trusted me to help you, trusted me with the worst moment of your life. How could I not fall for that? So we've both been in trouble for months. Months, I confirm. And now we're on a first date, finally. And Erin, I squeeze his hand. It's the best first date I've ever been on. His smile could light up the entire city. Yeah. We finish dinner around 11 p.m. The restaurant is closing, and we're the last ones there. Walk with me, Erin says. It's a beautiful night. Let's not end this yet. We walk along Michigan Avenue, the magnificent mile lit up and glittering. Erin's hand finds mine and it feels natural, right? Like we've been doing this for years instead of hours. Can I tell you something? Erin asks. Anything. For 20 years, I thought I knew what love was. Thought love meant sacrifice and compromise and putting someone else's needs before your own. And maybe it does mean those things. But tonight, walking with you, holding your hand, this feels different. This feels like partnership. Like two people choosing each other because they want to, not because they have to. Not because of promises made when they were 7 years old. Erin, let me finish. I don't know what this is between us, where it goes, if it lasts a week or a year or forever. But I know it's real. I know when I'm with you, I feel like the best version of myself. And I want to explore that. Want to see what we could be if we're brave enough to try. We stop walking. We're in front of the Chicago River, the water reflecting city lights like scattered stars. I'm scared, I admit. Scared of getting hurt again. Scared of trusting someone and having them destroy me. Scared of being wrong about you. I'm scared too, Erin says. But Sasha, I'd rather be scared with you than safe with anyone else. He cups my face in his hands, and when he kisses me, it's different from that desperate kiss in the hospital. This kiss is a promise. A beginning. A choice we're both making with eyes wide open. When we finally break apart, we're both smiling. So, Erin says, second date. Absolutely. When? Tomorrow. I laugh. You don't want to play it cool? Wait a few days. I've waited 6 months. I'm done playing it cool. I want to see you tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that. I want to wake up knowing I get to hear your voice. I want to fall asleep remembering the way you smile. I kiss him again, cutting off his words, because he's saying everything I feel. Everything I've been afraid to admit. Tomorrow, I agree when we come up for air. And the day after that. And let's just see where this goes. Deal. We stand by the river holding each other, and for the first time in 5 years, I'm not afraid. I'm not building walls. I'm opening doors. And on the other side is Aaron Brown, a good man who's been through hell and come out stronger. A man who sees me, who chooses me, who makes me believe in second chances. The city glitters around us, full of possibility and promise. And for tonight, that's enough.